Welcome, and thank you for joining us. Over this next hour, we're definitely going to give you some fair and biased opinions when it comes to real estate on the common sense level. Before I get started, I want to say hello to Geneva, Alabama, down at WGEA, 1150 AM. I hope you're enjoying the program. For this next hour, we're going to give you a really good piece of advice when selling your home. Live in my studio is our trusted partners, Model My Home, Kim Burley. I'm just going to call you Kim today.
That's fine.
All right?
That's absolutely
Kim is with Model My Home, and I'll tell you, here in the DFW Metroplex, Model My Home is the largest staging company around. We're going to be later on the program now, and later on the program we'll talk to you about why staging your home is so important. Also, I got to welcome my friend, my partner, my confidant, Mr. Michael Everett with the Michael Reselling Team. How you doing this morning, sir?
Good morning, Willie. I'm doing great.
Yep, good to have you here. Now, I always say this, 1% of the agents do 99% of the business. A certified expert advisor on your end of the spectrum basically is the same thing. We're going to talk about the importance of both picking the right agent, understanding that when you do that and you follow the lead and stage properly, amongst other things you do along the selling process, man, you can get up to 18% higher on your listing price. Huh?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And if anybody out there is interested in actually making money when they sell their home, they need to listen to the rest of the program.
Yeah. Key word, if you're interested in making money on your home, listen to the program. Make sure you go out to IRN USA Radio.com and click on Channel 3. And you'll go to Real Estate Talk, and wada bing, there you are. Kim, let's talk about a little staging. You know,
Okay.
you tell me on your card, and I agree with this because your boss lady Jana comes in here.
Uh-huh.
And there's three top staging tips, all right? Amenities that are updated,
Yes.
declutter, and a thorough cleaning. I always say this, and I'll tell you, I've tried to teach this to Sean along the way, but, you know, a bar of soap to take a bath with is the same principle on a home. It's common sense, isn't it?
Yes, you would think.
Every Saturday, whether or not I need one, I use my bar of soap. Every Saturday, religiously.
I'm telling you, there's progress being made there. You don't realize that.
Yeah, I had no idea he was a religious man.
Dude, I'm just telling you, you don't realize how much progress I've made. Good job, Sean. So, Kim, talk about, if I break down, you know, there's some common sense factors that comes into updating amenities.
Yes.
All right. Let me give you an example. You don't want to go to Lowe's, and if you are selling one of your rental properties that are, you know, $50,000-$60,000, you don't want to go to Lowe's and get all stainless steel appliances.
Right.
You know,
Right.
there's probably something you can get in an estate sale. Be really good.
Yes. Yes, and one of the things that we really talk to, especially investors about who are flipping homes and things like that, is, you know, check around the neighborhood, look around and see what your competition is, so that you're not overdoing your house. Because if you put so much more higher end things into the home than what is all around you, then you're having to price higher to be able to make your money back. And so look around and get some ideas of what your competition is before you start spending all of your money.
Sure. All right. So be wise.
Be wise.
Be
very
wise.
wise.
What'd you say to that, Sean? Be wise?
I think, too, you want to go look at like she's saying, go look at your competition. You want to go look, if there's new construction within a mile or two of where you live, go look at the model home and walk through it. You know, what do you see? And the salesperson's not going to care if you take pictures. You know, you may be a prospective buyer for them, you know, but you want to walk through, snap a couple of photos and say, okay, how does my house compare to that? Walk in the front door as if you're going to buy that house, and then walk in the front door of your home as if you're going to buy your house, and be objective and say, okay, do my countertops look like they're countertops? How is, you know, are my couches pushed up against the wall? You know, those are some just common sense things that you can do just to kind of get your mindset of this is the product I'm selling, and how does it look?
Sure. What's your take on this, Mike?
No, I think it's a really excellent point because, again, the one thing that we're looking for in every situation and that staging helps you accomplish so well is to give the prospective buyer, when they walk in the home, an opportunity to connect emotionally with the home, to be able to visualize their furniture, their life in that home. And if they can do that, and again, that's what staging promotes, it gets rid of the clutter, it gets rid of the distractions that'll enable you to see the home for its true value, for its, for all of the things that it will do for you as a buyer when you move in. And it creates that connection. And you've got to be smart about opening your home up to someone else's mind to be able to get them to make that commitment and buy that home.
Yeah. The key word, you got to be smart, man.
You do. Absolutely, you do.
You don't want to get me off on that tangent.
Well, and here's the other thing, too, Willie, is that probably 8 out of 10, and in some cases 9 out of 10, home sellers don't do those kind of things. They just kind of go around and straighten it up, and they'll do a little cleaning, and then they put it on the market and hope it sells. And if they don't have somebody there to advise them and help them develop the right strategy, then what it means is if you're smart enough to go and stage your home and do a really good job presenting it, you're going to be in the top 10, 20% or better of your marketplace in terms of how you look competitively with other homes that are on the market.
No question. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Real Estate Talk with Willie Lambright. Go out to IRN USA Radio.com, click on the Channel 3 button, and you can stream us live. I just want to real quickly say hello to Wellington, Kansas on KLEY 1130 ESPN Radio. I hope you're enjoying the show today. We're visiting with my friend, Miss Kim from Model My Home, and I'll tell you, here's the biggest one, and I'll give you the tip of the day, all right? So, clean thoroughly. Let's define what clean thoroughly is, all right? I got a home, I'm sitting out on the ranch, and clean thoroughly. That means when you're selling that home, no cobwebs in the double pane windows. All right?
No cobwebs.
Yeah.
In the really high windows that you never look at because you live there.
Yeah. And use a product called Windex. All right? It does wonders on windows.
Oh.
I've told many young people that if you want to sell a car, it could have all the dents in the world in it. But I'll tell you, if you take those windows and you make them squeaky clean, just somehow
inside and out.
Yeah, it just looks better, right? Same principle with a house.
Windows is a huge, huge thing because if your windows are cloudy or, they get that film on them on the outside because you don't wash them, it just, when the windows are sparkly clean, you can see out. Everything's clear. It makes everything look bigger and brighter. So that's a huge one.
Yeah, what we try to do here, for those of you that are just joining us, if you're trying to sell your home, no matter where you're at in this great country, at the end of the day, you have to have it priced correctly, and Mike's going to talk about that in a little bit. But you got to have the product to sell. So it's common sense. I'm just going to call it this way. In selling your home, maybe you don't have the luxury of getting a professional staging company, okay? But I'll tell you this. Everybody that's listening to this show can relate to this. Put some elbow grease into prettying up your home.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right? Do something. Don't sit on the couch and give the realtor the keys and say, sell the darn thing. Right?
Right. You have to prep it. You've got to get it ready.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I'll tell you another thing that is key whenever you're cleaning and you're doing all your spring cleaning and cleaning things that you don't normally touch, once a week. Look at your vents and look at your ceiling around the vents.
Yes.
On the, if your vents are coming out of the ceiling, they get that dirt around them. Buyers notice that. They want to see. They want the home to be clean. They want it move-in ready.
Here's why I say get the product Tough Stuff and spray that around there. It will. I'm telling you, it's way better than Comet, and it will clean, the ink off of Sean Bone's arm. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about decluttering, dear.
Okay.
Jana, the boss lady, told me when she was in here that she can always tell when she's staging a home when a single guy lives there because all the furniture is up against the wall.
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
What's up with dudes that having furniture against the wall?
I don't know. Maybe it creates more space on the floor for them to play their video games.
There you go. So let's talk about decluttering. We talked about soap. We talked about updating amenities. Kind of use common sense button there. But you got to get off the couch and get off your butt, if you will, and make it look nice.
Yeah. I'll tell you something about decluttering. I actually went and did a consultation earlier this week, and I was so pleased because the client that I went to, she had already done a lot of work, and she'd already decluttered almost everything, and she had already removed all of her personal pictures. And one thing that we run into quite a bit is some people get very offended if you ask them to remove their personal photos in the home. They don't understand it. But I'll just give you a little key. She had already gone and looked at a couple of homes. And she said, I don't remember anything about the house because I was walking down the hallway. I was looking at their vacation photos, and they were skiing, and they were doing all these things. And then they had all these wedding pictures out, and I was so intrigued by all of the decorations and the dress, and it was so beautiful. And then I walked out of the house and forgot all about it.
Yes.
So it's not because we don't want you to show that you have a life. It's because we want people to remember your house. Absolutely. Not your life that they see in photos.
Yeah, well, I can't tell you, Kim, how much I had to go very lightly when I suggested to Sean, do not get mad at me, but you're going to have to take your own autographed picture of yourself off the wall.
That's a velvet portrait.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, okay?
That's a velvet portrait. It took me 6 months to grow up my lamb chops.
Yeah, I had to relate to him on that very delicately.
Easy.
Listen.
You're going to come out with a broken limb.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike, I want you to, and here when we get ready to come to break, just a skosh here, but when we come back, you know, you're on the front lines as a 1%er. You're out there every day, and you have to deal with the emotions of people selling and buying. And it's really nice to have a company like Model My Homes in here. They really offer a viable service to help the real estate process along the lines. If you want to go out and check them out, go out to willielambright.com, click on the Partners tab, and you'll see Model My Homes down there. Good stuff. They got a free pamphlet you can get and some of your staging tips. It's not that difficult. It's called common sense. But, Mike, when we come back, can you talk about, from a 1%er's perspective, the importance of putting a bar of soap on it, taking your autographed pictures off the wall of yourself, and in order for that home to move?
We'll plug it right into strategy.
You'll plug it right into strategy. Listen, Real Estate Talk with Willie Lambright. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation on how you can get up to 18% more on your listing price. Knowledge is power. If you can see the invisible, you can accomplish the impossible. Stay tuned. Do not touch that dial. I want you to move that dial. We'll be back for the love of radio. Well, let's go.